I don't know what happened there. I don't know why I appeared instead of. I'm not muted, am I, this time? Let me just check. No, that's fine. Yeah, I was sitting there merrily nodding along to the music, and all of a sudden I appeared on the screen. I wasn't even in the studio, so I don't know what happened there. But anyway, and yes, I've got whiskers. I've been off work, and I went to the barber's on Sunday and had a whole all over, ears, eyebrows, nostrils, wet shave, head shave. And then I was like, I don't really need to shave again until I have to go back to work. So I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, let's pop open the comments and then let's say hello to everybody who's here. There's already 64 people in waiting. So Cards of Light, hello, nice to see you. We've got Paper Moon, how are you doing? Esco, Marilyn, Karen, Nika, Sandra, Lily Rose, and Elder Moon. We have Rob. Hello, Rob. Good to see you. Artemis, Marilyn, Lily Rose. I may be saying these names multiple times. Golden, Lel, Saskia, Tammy Pie. Hi, Tammy Pie. Steph. We have Laurie, Rayburn Glands. Hello, nice to see you again. Nancy. We have the lovely Jen. Hi, Jen. And Letty. I don't want to miss anybody out. Sarah, Nancy, Dawn, Jackie, Moom. We have Thace. Hi, Thace. And Joe. Hi, Joe. We have Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Tamoya. Nice to see you. Jojo. Moxie. Rebecca. MA. Forever. David's here. Hi, David. Fresh Petal. Nice to see you. Have I caught up? I think I've caught up with everybody. So I'm about to buy kitten nuggets. Kitten nuggets. You were all taking the mickey out of us eating white rats in Chris's live, and here you are eating kitten nuggets. Yeah, anyway, lovely to see you all. How's everybody doing? Have we all got a cuppa? So it's warm today. When I just checked, it was 70 degrees now at 7 p.m. So obviously it would have been warmer than that this afternoon. So I have got some cold brew coffee. I started brewing it yesterday afternoon about 4 o'clock. So it's had about 27 hours brewing. And it's vanilla, and I also added a little bit of oat milk as well. So 25 degrees Celsius here today, Simon. Yeah, I still don't really know what that means in terms of old money, but it was 70 just before I came on. Because I was like, really, I'd been in Robin's live, and then I was like, oh, it's time to get ready. So I was rushing around, and I was like, oh, it's warm, isn't it warm? I don't like to open a window on a live because it's Saturday night in a city, and all here is the noise of the city, like I don't know if you can hear that or whether it's picking it up, but there's fire alarms, sirens going off. So yeah, and it can be quite distracting with the windows open. I found in previous years when I've done it. Hey, Chris, nice to see you, and anybody else who might have come in, Michelle and others. Then good to see you all as well. Kristen Louise is here also. So yeah. So what we got to drink? I've got cold brew vanilla coffee. 27 hours been brewing this as. I love cold brew coffee. I also like cold brew tea, but cold brew coffee with a dash of almond milk is to die for. Can you hear that? All the sirens. Tell me you can. That's even with the windows shut. I may as well just open them and bear with. It's like living in Manhattan on a Saturday night. Hot Starbucks blonde. Can't hear it. I bet you can now. But anyway, now I can hear it. All right. So I was like, well, I may as well open it anyway because everybody will hear these sirens. But you didn't. So I should really shut it again, shouldn't I? If it gets too loud and distracting, then. But it is warm here today. You're going to get some brandy in a minute, Jennifer. Wow. Kitten nuggets. Yeah, what is this kitten nuggets craze? I need to get me some tea. I don't mind the sirens. We are so far from anywhere we don't get sirens. Wow. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Kitten Nuggets Tarot is super cute. Oh, it's a tarot deck. Kitten Nuggets Tarot is super cute. Arduous style deck by Lazy Mystic. I'm not looking at any more tarot decks. The Kickstarter completed today for Greenwood, didn't it? 12 o'clock today, UK time. So I got that. Pitching! £75 has gone out of your account. I was like, oh yeah. And I've still got a couple. I'm still waiting on my borderless Thoth deck. That's by the same creator on NPC who did that one, and these two. Gosh, I'm lethal. I'm dangerous. And these two minis as well, the inverted and the pocket greenie. So yeah, but NPC, it's been dispatched, so I'm imagining it will come this week. I want it to come before the 1st of June. It's going to be one of my decks for the month. I'm so happy that you've gotten into the Thoth. Simon, I thought you disliked the Thoth deck. I've been on a journey, Nancy. So I did. I've tried with the Thoth many times in the past, many times. From the first box that I bought, which was just in the purple box. And then I got the Millennium, got the Golden Thoth. And yeah, I never even got a little mini Thoth that I got in a set. The set is right at the top. Do you see there? The black and this one here, the black, and it's a kit with RWS and Thoth together, and you get 2 mini decks and some books. And I even had that. And then I couldn't get into it. And then Sandra and I went to that London, and we went to the Warburg Institute, and I saw Lady Frida Harris's paintings of the originals. And I was like, wow, they're beautiful. And then I thought, well, maybe it's the quality of the decks that I've had previously that made me not like them. And then I'd seen Tammy Pie show, and she showed it again in the video she's put out today, the mini greenie, and I thought, oh, they look nice. So I bought this, not knowing that it was the same person who did the Astro Weight and the Keishabo rebranded decks, the Old Fellow Revived and the blonde one. And I bought them, and then I said to her, I had no idea it was you. And she said, let me send you the full-size one. I didn't even know there was a full-size one. So she sent that one. So that set me on a mission. And then I went to Harworth in West Yorkshire for a day trip. I did a vlog on it. And I got to hold a greenie that they said wasn't for sale. And I was so disappointed. But I did buy a blush and fall from there. And then I went on a bit of a search and got myself a greenie, which is amazing. Love it. So I've got a little tray here on my desk with all my Thoth decks in them. The main draw for Thoth, let me put that up actually. The main draw for me with Thoth was the larger size of the cards. No other cards were larger when I was a younger man. Yeah, I get that, because the artwork is quite detailed, isn't it? It's layered, and having larger images, I think really help. That said, you know, I started off with a little mini greenie, and the colours just really popped. Hello, Robin. Nice to see you. Where are we? Oh yeah, I saw Liberty. Yeah, it looks really nice. I think it was given as well with that collectible part work, Total Tarot. I think you could get it with that. And then somebody else told me about a Thoth deck as well. That is really lovely, and I would have a look to see what it's called, but I can't remember where I got the message from, whether it was just chatting in the YouTube videos or whether I got a personal message, but I forget it now. But in the remote chance that whoever had that conversation with me is in the chat right now, then do say. But it's some beautiful artwork, and it's Thoth inspired. Millennium Thoth. No, it hasn't even got Thoth in the title. But it's like beautiful paintings, really gorgeous. And I was like, oh, that is really nice. Not Zilic. But anyway, how many decks are on your desk? So I have a stand with 9 decks that are layered in 3, which is at this end. See, if I could do that thing where you can point your phone and add it in, I would show you. But I can't because I get back noise, and then people are like, well, you plug in earphones, but I only have those little earpod earphones. So I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then I've got a pigeonholes with 12, 18, 12, 30, and then I've got a couple on the shelves up there, like my Carol Hertzer, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Then here I've got my Greenwood because I have it out, and my Guyan, 34, 35, a few at the back, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 with the tiles. So 40 decks. That sounds like it's really cluttered, don't it? But they're neatly kind of where I can grab them. So, you know, if I just wanted to grab a deck here, I can grab it because it's in a little, what I call the pigeonholes, like when you used to have your mail in those little cubes. You should do a table tour. I should, shouldn't I? Yeah, I've still got quite a few of the spotlight decks to show yet as well, and I'm back at work, but maybe I'll do a table tour, desk tour. It's been a while. I have to make sure it's tidy though. It's one of those things I'm always trying to keep on top of. Simon, your ghosts look so cute back there. Yeah, there's the full collection of ghosts and cats. But yeah, love them. What's this one? That's almost how many decks I have in my entire library. Robin says, spoiled for choices. Do you ever sit in front of your decks, like trying to decide what to watch on TV and spend... It's funny you say that, because yes, but also I rotate them. So if I'm called to work with a particular deck, then I want them out where I can grab them. So I've got like 3 stages of priorities. The decks that are here in front. So that stand, let me see if I can show you without it going everywhere. This stand is like my old faithfuls. So it's got the 3 versions of Druidcraft, untrimmed, trimmed with titles at the bottom, naked. It's got the Greenwood Tarot, untrimmed, trimmed. It's got the Llewellyn, untrimmed, trimmed. And then I've got me Osho Zen, and then I've got the Victorian Tarot there. So they're kind of like always there. And then I'm not going to grab the other trays with all the Thoth ones in and stuff like that. But I've also got in those trays my brushing fool, one of my brushing fools, Ancient Italian, and then one that I've been working with that I showed you last month as well is the Atea. So that's out. Then in the next little tray to that is my green, my greenies. And then over there is the pigeonholes with lots of different decks in. So one that I'm using a lot at the minute is the Vacetta. Oh, this is going to feature in the little VR that I'm doing soon as well. So that's there. Yeah, don't really. So that's so yeah. So what I was answering your question, Robin, was if I want to work with a deck, then usually out of those 12 pigeonholes, if I think, right, I've worked with you for quite a bit now, like Marielle this morning went back into a box on the shelf because I really, really want to work with this deck at the end of the month. Oh, this deck, the Joker Tarot, is, I showed it yesterday, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. So that's out because I want to be able to just grab it. Yeah, and then there's a couple of old favorites there as well. So there's kind of like 3 priorities. There's the ones on my desk, which are the ones I'm using the most, or old favorites like Druidcraft. The ones behind me, which I love, and then the ones relegated to the back room. But even they get swapped around. So why is Sandra saying David? What's David had to say? The Sandra Tarot. Simon, what's your rudest deck? Not in terms of imagery, but in terms of salty answers. And equally, what's your softest in terms of messages? Softest is easy to answer. It's probably Magical Forest. Love that for its softness. Rudest in terms of saltiness. don't really know if I've got one that I'd think is salty or rude. I mean, there's a couple that are really sort of like give it to you straight. I mentioned ritual abuse tarot the other day. That's one that's kind of confronting. I find that decks tend to migrate from shelves onto my desk until the desk becomes cluttered. Yeah. That looked like the Gill Tarot. I just got that this morning. My Gill Tarots are back here. There's one Gill Tarot, and then I've also got a Gill Tarot trimmed. I can't think where that is now. It'll probably be up there as well. In a box. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. Try if you don't mind, if you can, if you've got questions or anything you want me to see, if you can put it into capitals, that will really help, because there's nearly 130 people in here, and the messages are going quite fast. Somebody mentioned Anna K. Anna K is a deck that is always out as well. I love the Anna K. Absolutely fantastic. I use the Indiana K because the cardstock's better and the size of it is nicer as well. I just got Joker in the mail today, says Jen. That's brilliant. I love it. Really, really love it. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new month. Yeah, and like I said, I'm waiting for the Borderless Thoth, because that's going to be one of the decks that I'm using, but it won't get a full month because it could come. No, it can't come tomorrow. The earliest I could get it is Monday. But anyway, as long as it's early in the month. Indiana K. That's so cool, David. I hope you do. What? Get to go. Where's David off to? I'm saving for holiday too, which might take in Glastonbury. Fab. And Cheryl says, I just got another Anna K, as I'd lost a couple of cards. So happy to have it back in my life. Brilliant, because it's the mass market is the one that's going out of print, isn't it? I think it's brilliant that all the way through the mass market release, Anna also had, you could buy direct from her, the independent one. So that was cool. So what's been happening this week? Well, Adam Fire has asked if a deck you were talking about that is Thoth based was the Maria. No, it wasn't. I wish the person who showed it. It's beautiful anyway, but I should have written it down. But the mass market went out of print 2 years ago. Wow, I didn't realise. You mentioned this earlier, Simon, but I wish they'd brought out the deck from the Tarot movie. Yeah, me too. So cool. Even like the Tower card, and I was like freeze framing it, looking at as she was doing the readings, where she was doing the 12 cards in the circle for the houses. I was like freeze framing it and zooming in and thinking, oh, look at that Tower card. Oh, look at that Star card. But even, because I thought, is it just going to be majors? But the guy who's in the coffin, he's got the Two of Pentacles next to him. And that card looked amazing. It was hands that were bound together in chains, and the pentacles on the palm of each hand. I feel like I'm missing comments, so maybe I should look here rather than there. Yeah, anyway. So what's been happening this week? So last week when why is that giving me a thumbs down? Let's change that. We'll have a thumbs up. Last week when Cheryl and I did Spotlight and we were looking at the Joker Tarot, I said, I kind of wish I'd got the Murder of Crows, but I didn't because I wanted the red edition. Bloody I've got it, haven't I? Somebody showed it and I thought, I'm sure that looks really familiar. I'm sure I've got it. It was Tammy Pie showed it because she'd put some red paint on it. So I went to Libib, typed in Crow Tarot, and lo and behold, I've got it. So then this morning I went on a hunt through all my decks to find it, and I found it. And shout out to Tammy Pie because what I really liked, and it helps me bond with it. And I don't know what happened. I think I got this deck, thought, oh, that's really nice. And then another deck came in and it got put on the shelf because this deck has never been used. It was still in order and I can't remember anything about it. And I went and looked on YouTube because I've got 1,000 walkthroughs on YouTube because I've done it for every deck. And yeah, I got it in 2019, 6 years ago, and it just must have gone on the shelf. Anyway, I found it and I looked through it and I thought, oh, wow. But I edged it this afternoon in red because Tammy Pie had done that on hers. And I was like, oh, that's actually really effective. If I hadn't have seen Tammy Pie's, I would have edged it in black like I did the Joker Tarot. But I thought, no, actually, it breaks it up because unlike the Joker Tarot, this and the glossy, that's the only thing. The Joker Tarot isn't. I'm not hugely keen on glossy cards, but it was 6 years ago. I think if this was released now, it would be matte. The thing is with this version, it is monochromatic. There's no colour in it at all, unlike the Joker Tarot. So putting red on it actually gives it, oh, look at that. Look at that image. It actually gives it a bit of colour. Sorry, Robin, there's breasts. I know you don't like breasts. He's just done a whole thing about breasts in tarot. I edged the Tower of the Abyss in that same red. Oh, wow. So this is cherry red. Winsor & Newton cherry red. But anyway, it's a deck that's 6 years old now. But it also comes in one of these. It's the older style where the top bit is longer than the bottom bit. The new styles now change that round, don't they? And they have the short bit at the top. But yeah, so edged it in red to connect with the deck, and it's going to stay out a bit because I thought it might be fun to mix it up with the Joker Tarot. I don't mean literally mix it up as in mix the decks, but I mean like one morning use the Joker Tarot, the next morning use Murder of Crows throughout the month of June. That's one with the breasts and the crow head. Oh, it's gone too fast. I can't find it now. I hate EV Mux for their comments. They need to sort their comments out. You can't scroll through them easily. And I wanted to highlight it. I can't even get to the bottom. It's just so clunky. Let's have a look here. That one with the breasts and crow head seems to work. It gives a context other than sex. The red is really effective. Simon, can I hire you to come to Barcelona and edge many of the decks in red? I'm up for a holiday in Barcelona. If you want to hire me to come and edge your decks, I'm more than happy to to do that. Yeah, I'm for hire. I wouldn't say this is sexualized though. No, I mean I don't necessarily think that nakedness in the tarot is sexualized. It depends on the image. I think it's the human form, you know. So I have no issues whatsoever with nudity in tarot. I get what Robin was saying. You know, there was kind of like emphasis on. For me, it was more about their dress, their style, and one did remind me of Madonna's conical hanky panky video type outfits, but I don't get why people don't like nudity index when we're all born naked. I guess there's a whole myriad of reasons why people might feel uncomfortable around it. You know, asked me 25 years ago when I was a Mormon and everything else, I might have had a different opinion, but nudity in tarot is no different to me. Oh, it's jumped again. Nudity in tarot is no different to me than nudity in art. Yeah, well, tarot is art, isn't it? The images are art. It's artistic. So I need an interesting article about nudity. I read, an interesting article about nudity in tarot, highlighting vulnerability and raw experience. So yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Sandra gifted me a deck, which was really nice. She sent it yesterday, and I said, why? She said, just to say thank you for all the decks that you let me have, which really didn't need to. But Spanish tarot, believe it or not, is one that I didn't have. I do have and love the Angel Tarot. This is a beautiful deck. But this one, I love the colours. There's beautiful purple colours in the Spanish tarot. It's quite saturated in terms of the colour palette. But it's a Fournier deck. Yeah, and it's still in print. I posed a question in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group yesterday. You know, I was talking about anomalies in decks. The RWS has the Blushing Fool. It's seen as it's very rare. It's hard to get. It's expensive now. Thanks to people like me going on about it years ago. First one I bought was 30 quid, then now it's hundreds. And, you know, the Thoth has the Greenie, which are all considered kind of like anomalies and rare. And I asked, does the Marseille have an equivalent to the Blushing Fool or the Greenie? And it's been interesting seeing people's responses. That colourway would give me a migraine. No, it's lovely. I really like it. It stands out. It's different. And I'm all about that. So, yes, thank you, Sandra, for sending that. I know I thanked you yesterday, but the Rash Fool, I call him, more splotchy than shy. Yeah. And then they also some people refer to it as the Sunburnt Magician, don't they? And but Blushing Fool is what it's known as. I also got some playing decks this week because my friend Diane Brennan, let's say Brannan then, I was talking about looking for purple playing card decks. And this is the Elton John deck. And I knew about it and I thought, well, I'll nip and get it because it was just downstairs. But they have purple and pink pips. I mean, Elton John is in the archetypes, in the court cards. So you've got pink and purple. That's just a front and back card. But yeah, and I quite like the pips with the outline around them, so they're quite nice. And I read with playing cards as well. Well, actually, that's all I do with them, because Simon said do because I don't sit playing solitaire on my own. Not that I used to play Clockwork Solitaire. Do you remember that one? Just realised I left the title cards out, so I'm going to put them back in. And then the other one, just for cuteness and collectible factor, was I got the Mickey Mouse deck, playing card deck, and this is great. I mean, you've got Mickey and Minnie as the Jokers. These are just downstairs in WH Smith's. There's the Ace of Spades, and then the rest are, obviously. But again, I like the pips here seem to be kind of smaller and grouped into the middle. I will not start collecting playing cards. But look, Jack, Queen, King. I love the aces. So this was $7.99, and it's bicycle, so it's casino quality, beautiful soft linen cardstock. But yeah, I really like it. And not only that, like in the tens, you've got hi Rolf. I saw an Addams Family playing card deck recently, and like tarot, there's going to be a theme for all of them, and I have got about 40 playing card decks now. But Bicycle do really good quality ones. I still am looking for. Sandra and I looked for it when we went to Ice 9. The Cartomancy poker deck. Love it. Then they brought out a dark version. So because I've just found it in a shop, I keep going back into that shop to see if they've got it, but they haven't yet. But again, if not, you have to buy it online. What was that? I saw something about LGBT. I can't scroll back to it because it jumps. So annoying. Let's see if I can find it on here. Where is it? Oh, I got the Hierophany's Tarot deck this week. It's brilliant. An LGBTQ plus aligned deck that's quirky and pastely. You might like it, Simon. Yeah, cool. But I'm not getting a lot of decks because I don't want to just keep bringing them in unless they really, really appeal to me. So yeah. And then the other thing, as you know, I've been working with the Thoth. So people were recommending Lon Milo DuQuette's book. I've not started it yet. It came a week ago. I bought it from Cheryl at Oneness Emporium. It looks, having a quick flip through, it looks really, really good and informative. So I got that because I've just been using the one that is in that kit that I showed you up there. And then Cheryl, as a gift, put in this one, which is Tarot Mysticism, and it's Joe Montalone. I think that's how you say his name. He's a YouTuber. I used to watch Joe, like when I first discovered YouTube, but I stopped because he was all about the Thoth. I was like, just talks about the Thoth, and I wasn't into it. Now this one, I did have a skim through, and I thought, wow, this one looks really, really in depth. But thank you, Cheryl, for sending that. Both of these are available from Oneness Emporium. So that will aid me in my studies with Thoth. I'm going to judge a book by its cover. Nice cover on that Thoth book. Which one? The Lon Milo Duquette one. My very favourite Thoth book. That's cool. Oh my God, I love Joe. Yeah, Joe's great. New Era Elements Tarot. That's a good deck. It's one of my favourite decks. That's a Thoth System Aligned deck with its controversial. Yes, it is controversial, but c'est la vie. Some decks are. Simon, do you remember your very first deck from childhood do you remember your very first deck from childhood that developed in you a fascination with cards? Oh, no. I do remember my sisters had Old Maid. I remember that one. But no, that's not what got my fascination with cards. I think just playing cards got my fascination with cards. And then at the age of 16, getting my first tarot deck, and then seeing it in popular culture like James Bond and Tales of the Unexpected, as we've mentioned before. And then being told, oh, by my parents, when I inquired, what are they? That sort of, no, don't have anything to do with that. Makes me want me to do the opposite. Sandra's asking Cheryl if there's more copies of the Lon Milo Duquette book. She got one in stock. Everybody's rushing there now to get that last one. We played Bridge as kids. Hey, Magus, nice to see you. How are you? Much love to you too. I remember I loved to play cards. Yeah. There was one we used to play when we used to go to my grandparents. I can't remember how you play it now, but it was something to do with donkey. Are you on donkey? But it was fun. Christmases and stuff, playing cards. Yeah. Something really good about a set of playing cards. They're very versatile. There's lots of different ones you can play. So, and you can play on your own. I always used to play Clock Patience. Loved Clock Patience. Dawn says, Simon, I love Tales of the Unexpected. We used to jump up and do the funny dance to the theme tune. Yeah, that was funny. So that's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is, so I mentioned earlier that I watched Tammy Pie's VR. So I did a tag in the week. Might have even been a week ago now. I don't even know. Having 2 weeks off work has completely thrown me. But I did my top 3 of 3, which was my 3 favourites: RWS, Toth, and I've got to learn. Am I saying Thoth, or Toth? Because I say it different every time. And Marseille or Pip decks. And a few people have done it. I didn't expect many people to do it, actually, because not everybody is into all 3 systems. But actually, every single response, 3 or 4 responses, have done their own take on it. And that's great as well, because it's top 3 of 3. That was my 3, but anybody could do. And Tammy Pie, I think, did RWS, Thoth, and Oracle. So great. And Diane did something different again. So it's what anybody wants to do. But anyway, I was watching Tammy Pie this morning do her VR and really enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoy Tammy Pie's videos anyway. She's got a lot of knowledge. And she said, I'm going to combine this with another tag that's out because they're very similar. So, of course, I went and had a look, and I was like, okay. But now I'm thinking, I've not remembered the name of the channel. Tammy Pie, if you're still here, would you add the name of the channel? Because I did take a screenshot of the prompts, which I need to send over to my phone so I can still see the comments, which I will do now. And airdrop iPhone. There we go. So they'll appear here. So I've got the prompts that you can't see anyway. Tabula Mundi looks really nice. I used to have Tabula Mundi and the other one in the blue box, and I traded them. And now I think, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? But anyway, that's life, and you have to make peace with it, and somebody else is enjoying them. I don't know if Tammy Pie is still here. So let me have a look at Tammy Pie's video a second, because she does credit them. Oh, I've only got 28% battery left as well. Elements of Tarot is the channel. So Elements of Tarot started it, and it's called A Few of My Favorite Things 2025. Now I will afterwards, because I thought, well, if I don't have time, I don't want to commit to it. I will, after this is uploaded, I will add into this title, includes a VR to Elements of Tarot. So there's 13 prompts. There's the last one I'm not going to do. I'll explain why when I get to it. And the first ones, I'm just going to say to you, watch the top 3 of 3, because the first one is favorite RWS or RWS clone. You all know mine. I'm not going to show it. It's the Blushing Fool. That's back as my number 1 tarot deck for RWS. There's, in my opinion, there's no other deck like it for its beautiful colours, sharp line work, buttery finish, no lamination, no copyright, just pure joy to have in your hands. So that's that one. The second one is favourite Marseille and or Thoth deck. So again, covered it. Favourite is the Greenie for the Thoth, and my favourite Marseille type pick deck is the Vachetta. I'm leaving this out because this features again in a minute. So that's the first 2 prompts, and I thought I'm not going to sit here again and go through the same ones that I've just done in the week. So I just sold my Tabula Mundi with a big lot of other collectible decks. Wow. Yeah, so that's that. So prompt 3 is your favorite Oracle deck. Now, I have covered this in the past. Where have I put it? However, there's lots of different people joined the channel since I did favorite oracles. But can anybody remember, any old timers amongst you remember what my favorite oracle deck is? The most delicious cardstock, the Vachetta and Tammy Pie. Haven't you noticed the more you shuffle it? Because you know when you get an Il Meneghello deck, they're quite not stiff, but they're not broken in, are they? And then you the edges are, well, I cornered it, but the more you work with it and the more you shuffle it, the more soft and air gets in it, and it's just amazing. Echoes, soul cards, Ganesh, reclaim oracle. Does the Vachetta have rounder corners? No, it doesn't. I rounded it very with the smallest rounder. Here's my corner rounder. So it was, I thought it would give you the measurements, but it's just the small setting, the small, medium, and large. I just find that it just, I've ordered a backup. Soul cards, Sufi Oracle, Lord Ganesha. I don't think Simon thinks the soul cards is an oracle. That's correct. It looks like a lovely deck. So I did mention it last year when I did my favorite oracle decks. It's the Sunrider Oracle, which is by Ramon Santiago. Ramon is a friend of mine. I class him as a friend. We talk, not as often as I'd like. And I met him. When we went to New York. I met him with Robin. He created this for me, which made it really special. I think he said it's the only copy in the world. Or it might be one of two. I think he might have done one for himself. I know I would. So, and he put a little title card in, and then he also wrote a handwritten message in there as well. This is based on RWS Pixie imagery, where he's taken elements from the tarot and turned it into an oracle and given you a keyword. So, for instance, the Fool's staff there, and it's baggage, carrying baggage. From the Tower card, we've got the Fall. Cardstock is gorgeous. Freedom. Anxiety. So obviously there's more swords there than just the 9 swords. We have confusion, emotion, and I just love this. For me, an oracle deck, because I use oracle very differently, I just want to do my tarot reading, and then if I want clarity, I want to be able to pull a card and just get a hit, like, release, ambition, continuity. And this is just everything that I want. Oppression from the Devil card, enlightenment, Hermit's Lantern. So yeah, this is my favorite oracle deck for multiple reasons. Even if this wasn't created for me and I bought it from a shop, it would still be my favorite oracle deck. Look at that, transcendence. Loyalty. Anyway, and it even comes in a tin. 70 cards, so it's a really good size oracle deck. Ramon is so creative. Ramon's artistic talents is mind-blowing. I don't know if people follow, but if you don't, it's Moon Scarab. Please do. He's doing the whole major arcana in music. So he writes songs, he performs the songs, he creates the music, all the way through. I think he's up to, like, is it the Star card now? But incredible. It's really talented. And the even when he first arrived on YouTube, the quality of his videos, the knowledge that he was sharing. Is it not on NPC? It's not. I keep telling him he should make it. He should sell it. It doesn't hurt that he's a handsome chap too. It's just a beautiful person. When I met him, is just so gentle and sweet and kind. It's just a really nice Moon Scarab. Nancy, Moon Scarab. Ramon is already over 10,000 in such a short time because he's so talented and charming. Yeah, and his channel will just go like that. To get 10,000, I think he's been on 18 months maybe. That's really good going. Yeah, people saying they would buy it. So that's that prompt. Your favorite oracle. Favorite tarot oracle pair. I thought long and hard about this, and I came up with a few. And then I thought, well, let's just do one. So I think the one I'm going to go for is Tarot of Paul's Moon and the Medieval Oracle of the Beasts. Now, these are exquisite decks. It's by Libra Moon, and the production quality is insane. Really is. Even down to their little white books. They're embossed leather with gold edges. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh, the smell of that. Incredible. This one didn't have gilding because they wanted a particular finish, which was, I think he said something like a butter something finish. And there's the cardstock is incredible. You've got these beautiful gold. It's a medieval style deck, but it's just glorious. The colours are lovely. These are the backs, which are stunning. Again, metallic on the backs. Using medieval artwork. Gara Namils. What? What? Yeah, and I love this deck. I think, did I take this to Glastonbury last year, Sandra? I think you might have had a look at it at Glastonbury, because I know you're not into a lot of religious art, but you thought it was done quite well from memory. So that's, and I edged it, like I say, in blue. Yes, you did, Simon. Thought I did. And then they brought out Medieval Oracle of the Beasts. Now, this one was gilded because they used a different cardstock. Apparently, the gilding doesn't take to that cardstock. And again, they did a lovely embossed. Well, this one's got gold stamping on it, red, beautiful. They smell amazing. If you want to, if you're a sniffer, these decks are worth getting just for that. There's always little notes in there as well from the creator. These are the backs, and again in exactly the same style, but it's a matte cardstock rather than that butter finish. But these pair together beautifully on a table. I only ever pull one oracle when I'm doing a tarot reading. Tarot of the Paul's Moon was the last deck. Yeah, Tarot of Paul's Moon by Libra Moon, who did Serpent and Peacock, those decks. And you could see, because the Serpent and Peacock was the first deck I bought from Carol. And you can see how her decks have just got better and better and better. And I can't see how they could ever improve on the quality of these, because they're just incredible. So that's my favourite pairing. Sniffer here. Yeah, hands up if you're a sniffer. But these smell amazing. Prompt 5 is favourite black and white deck. Hands down, no contest here. It was very easy. I know straight away. It's one of those decks that's always out. And of course, it's... oh, love it. Tower of the Abyss by Anatorium. Gara Animals is a clothing line for kids that had a matched top and matched bottom. All right, okay. I sniff books too. Yeah, you have to sniff books, don't you? This deck, again, is so layered. It was her first deck, I think, that was mass produced, that went straight, as in wasn't indie and then became mass market. She created it. That's the card you like, Chris. She created it. She was halfway through the process because I remember watching it develop on Facebook when it got picked up by US Games. But again, there's so many layers to this. You sit with these images and you just, every time you notice something in the detail, it's incredible. I love this Hangman card. I love the perspective of we are the hanged man upside down looking at the image like that. There's just... and I know people have said, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if this was released in colour? Do you know what? That Tower of Echoes, you know, get in colour. This one is just perfect as is. Don't get me wrong, if she released a version in colour, I'd be there because Anatorian, and you know, I love all of her work. She can do no wrong. It's just an incredible tarot deck. Is it true that Tower of Ae by AGM Urania is the best 1910 Pam A? I wouldn't say so. I think now probably the best one, oh dear, I knew I did that, is this one. Again, one that's out on my desk. This is the one that comes with the big box. It's gone right out of my head. Please, somebody help me pop it into chat. The name of the publisher of the book. But it comes with that, and it's a facsimile of the 1910. This is amazing cardstock and print quality, and yeah, it's just great. So I would say that this one is the best version. Tashin, thank you, Tashin. Yeah. So yeah, my favourite black and white deck, hands down. Didn't even have to think about it. Is this deck? Look at the Two of Swords. I love it so much. And I don't think this has ever left my desk. I got it in 2020. I think it was 2020. It might have been 2021. It was the year that we went to Glastonbury in August and Dan came with us, because I brought it with me. And yeah, love it. Pop that back. Pop it back there. Oops. Have a sup of coffee. Bianco Nero is pretty good too. Yeah. It is. Next prompt is favourite shuffle. I've already mentioned it, that's why I left it out. It's the Veketa. This, again, this is what I was saying earlier when Time of Power was in. See how it's kind of fanning out? It becomes like really soft. The cardstock is incredible. I used to think when I used to, because I've got quite a few, as you can see here, Il Meneghello decks, and I was a little bit too afraid to use them. But actually, the more you use them and the more you shuffle them, I'm not a riffle shuffler either, although I probably could have a good go at it with these. It's just so soft. They're incredible. So this is my favorite shuffler. I can't speak for how it shuffles. Tammy Pie probably could, because she is a riffle shuffler and she has this deck, but it's a dream. So Vachetta is my favorite shuffler. What we're on about? Seen a few videos of that. I mean, look. Oh, gosh. Would you corner around Le Court? Oh, no, I don't think I would. I think I corner rounded this one, Jen, because it's the one I use the most out of my Il Meneghello decks. None of the others up there, the Soprafino, the Neoclassico, the Eturias, none of them are corner rounded. But this one, because I mean, look at the sound of it. It's so light and fluffy, and it's amazing. So I think that's why, because I use it a lot and they can be quite sharp. Simon, you're tenderizing that deck when you fluff it like that. Tenderizing it. I see, yeah. No, because you can't riffle it. I did corner around my old Danilov though. So I've got the original Danilov, the first edition Danilov, and that is beautiful as well. You can't riffle it? You can't riffle the Vachetta? I'm not going to mention somebody that I know riffles it. But anyway. Favorite collage deck. Now, I do need to preface this by saying that collage decks aren't my favorite medium of art. They have to really kind of stand out. And there are a few decks that I really love. It depends how it's done. But my favorite collage deck is the Magical Nature Tarot. This has amazing cardstock as well. It's that eco herbage. But again, this when it's almost, and smells amazing. Too many decks, Simon, not enough money, and no, not enough time. I want to live forever and play with my decks. This is done so well that it doesn't feel collagey. It's gorgeous. And this cardstock is very thin but it's got a really springiness to it, and it's made out of vegetation and recycled paper and all that sort of stuff. Scaramandalia is a good one. Yeah. The types that I don't like, where it just looks like somebody has gone through like an old catalogue or something and cut bits out and just slapped it on. And because of this colour tone and palette, same thing. it really doesn't feel like a collage deck. It's gorgeous. Can you describe the smell for this one? Kind of going into winter, leaving autumn, going into winter, getting ready for like bonfire night. See, for me, I don't know if it makes me peculiar or if everybody experiences senses in that way, but things like smells, sounds, takes me back to particular places in my life. So I think I mentioned it not so long ago. I can't remember where I was, but I went in somewhere and I could smell a certain smell that took me right back to my grandmother's bungalow. And I was like, wow. And it's not like, oh, that reminds me of my grandma's bungalow. It takes me back there, literally. Like, I know exactly the age I am. I know whereabouts in the bungalow I am. It's like I'm suddenly transported back to that time and I'm experiencing it again. So certain smells, I would never say, because I can never describe it. If somebody says, does that smell of acorns or does that smell of strawberry, or my brain don't work like that. I smell it and think, well, that reminds me of when I was about 10. And yeah, it's starting to get cold. It's like end of October, beginning of November, and I'm getting ready for like a bonfire night display. Does that make sense? Does anybody else? Please tell me other people experience that. Let's see if I've missed any comments. Sandra said about smells really bring back memories. Yes, I'm the same, says Artemis. Oh, 100%, yes, happens all the time to me. Phew. And Jen says yes as well. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And it's hard, you know. Some people say, oh, it reminds me of. And it's more than reminding me of. It's literally, and it's the same with a piece of music. If a piece of music comes back on, there's some songs that will just play. And it takes my breath away because there's such an association with it. Terry Jack's Seasons in the Sun. I know every time that starts, the chords at the beginning takes me straight back to a certain house. I'm sitting in a certain chair looking out the window. It reminds me of my dad when my parents were together, and I'm just, it starts and it literally, I feel like quantum leap. Oh boy. It's weird, but it's not an unpleasant thing either. You are back in the moment. Yeah, exactly. We all sniff cards, Simon. We're all a bit eccentric. Well, we're all together, aren't we? I love that song. We had joy, we had fun, we had Seasons in the Sun. Yeah, it actually chokes me up. There's a lot of songs that do that, but that one in particular. If I sit down and I think, right, I'm going to play that song and I'm prepared for it, fine. But if it just starts that dum 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 dum, as it literally takes my breath away, and I stop dead whatever I'm doing. That song takes me back. Yeah, exactly, Tammy Pie. And I didn't know if that song was just over here, because you know, like some music is in certain countries. But obviously it's a universal song because there's people here in the States that know it. All right, so next one then is favorite tarot box or bag. So I've got a couple of each. So I'll do boxes first. This is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this. The detail in it is beautiful. I like it because it's round. This one at the moment has got my, oh my gosh, Cantergy Oracle in there. This has had Archetypes deck in it. It's had the 1909 circular deck. Cantergy, the 1909 was a little bit smaller. Cantergy just fits perfectly in there. And I put a palm. This is peach calcite goes in there. But yeah, I remember you getting that, Simon, in Ice 9. Yeah. It's just gorgeous box. That's my favourite out of my wooden boxes. I also really like these log boxes behind me. I collected them over a few years from the Christmas markets. Each year I bought another one. I've got 5. They're gorgeous. They're like a log sliced in half and hollowed out. So I love them. But I guess my favourite is this one. This is my favourite box. Hello. It's got mirrors on the sides, as you can see. And I picked this up at an antiques fair when I went to Lincoln last year. And beautiful. And that has my original Blushing Fool, the first Blushing Fool I got, which was back in 2017. So, yeah. And this one sits... If you saw the video that I did the other day, which was things that are important to me, the section where I show my altars, the second altar, it has my God and Goddess by Philippa Bauer. Then this sits in the centre of that altar with a candle behind it. So yeah, I love that box. So that's my ultimate favourite. In terms of bags, I mean, I've got so many beautiful bags, but my favourite bag is the one from my big sis, Giselle, over at Mad Witch Creations, I think his shop is called. This was a gift. This first one was a gift, and she sent it to me. And I mean, look, the detail that goes into this. This has got the soul cards, not the oracle, the one we fashioned into a tarot deck. I mean, the stuff that's the detail that's gone into this. Look at that hand as well. I absolutely love it. Giselle's bags are lush. They really are. So, yeah, this was a gift. And then Giselle started to sell her creations on her shop. And so I bought one that was called Elf. Now, for the longest time, I had the Handel Tarot in here because that reminded me of Giselle. I bought the Handel Tarot in Glastonbury a couple of years back after watching Giselle's walkthrough because it never appealed to me. And then I watched Giselle's walkthrough of it and I was like, I want to get that deck. Now, this one is one of those that kind of rolls out. I mean, look at that. I love these kind of earthy colours and the velvet and beautiful. So I now keep, because of all the gold and everything in it, I keep my Retina Waite-Smith deck in this. Again, that's staying out because it comes into another prompt in a second. Did we get around to doing out throwback on the handle? Did we ever get round to doing our throw? No, we didn't. It was one of those where everything kept going wrong. We never got the date sorted for it. We really should. We really should sort that out. Because it's a beautiful deck. It's not the easiest of decks, but it's a beautiful deck. Anyway, So this was called Elf, and I bought it from her to support her in her first kind of creations. And yeah, just, I mean, look at the detail that goes into these, and the cushion and quilted, and oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. Their artwork, they are. And then favorite card back. So I'm conflicted on this because I love the backs. Very plain, very. Look at that. This is on Solitary Witch Oracle. So matte black with this beautiful metallic pentagram on it. I mean, this is a gorgeous Oracle deck as well, but I really want this on a tarot card as well, because I think it is stunning. And when you've got lights on, whether it's candle lights or a little spotlight over and you're laying your cards down, these are gorgeous. So they're quite simple. I also really like, one of my favourite card backs ever is that. I mean, it's just great. I don't need a lot of fuss. That's the, oh God, what is it called? Prism. So, oh my gosh, I nearly had it then. This was my favourite deck of 2023. Gosh, Chris, you'll know, you've got it. There was a second edition with a shiny metallic silver back as well that I almost got, but I didn't. Holy Spectrum, that's it. Thank you. Holy Spectrum. Yeah, I just love it. But then I think in terms of attractiveness and blingy, because I am a little bit blingy, the backs on the I think I'm going to have to end this in a minute because I'm getting to that brain fog stage where I can't function. Retina Waite-Smith deck. This is just so beautiful. It looks like it's just gold, but there's so many colours in there as well. It's just incredible. Retina Gold, yeah. I think it's the nicest backs. There are also the Ganeshan Village. Somebody mentioned Ganesha earlier. That has a beautiful back as well. But my favourite is that one. But again, it's either that or strip it back. Let's have some plain backs. I think it does, but not foiled. You're on about the Witcher's Tarot. I almost mentioned that a minute ago. Someone's mentioned the Witcher's Tarot. Pagan Tarot have similar, but Pagan Tarot. There's a lot very similar, but that metallic is beautiful. You can do it, Simon. I know I need to plough on. This always happens. ADD. So next one is favourite spread cloth. And I go back to my big sis, Giselle, who I bought this spread cloth. I commissioned it. I said to her what I really wanted, what I'd really love. And tomorrow I can start using it again because this is my summer spread cloth. I've used like a plain background that Marilyn sent me for like through winter and spring. But this one, look at that. So this is of the Glastonbury tour, but the detail in the flowers, in the stitching, it is just beautiful. And if you've watched this smells gorgeous as well. It's had some incense on top of it, and it's kind of, I can smell it. I mean, I can't begin to tell you, look, just the detail in each of the petals and everything. It's just gorgeous. It's layered, it's textured. It's quilted, it's got a different design on the back, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And if you watch my channel and you was watching it last summer, you'll be familiar with this because I have it out every summer. And tomorrow it will be 1st of June. June, July and August is the summer months for me. It will be out, so look out for that. And then the others, I don't need to show anything, I just need to talk about them. I wanted a purple and black spread cloth from Giselle, but it sold. I'm not surprised it sold though. Hi B, beautiful spread cloth, nice to see you. So prompt 11 is favourite place to read your cards. Now I can read cards anywhere, but that's not what it's asking. It's asking for the favourite place. So it is literally here in my cave with my decks around me. I always do the same thing. I always light my candles, put some incense on, and then the bell for sound. And I love to just sit here and look at my cards in the morning or in the evening. I do like to read for other people, but I always feel more comfortable in my little cave reading my cards. When I had the Hermit's Cave business, and I did readings for people, they were online, and they were okay. I did it for about 2.5 years, I think, just under 3 years. I had the business for, but I really like to have somebody in front of me. I like to have the conversation. I also, because I practice psychometry, like to have something of theirs to triangulate. Low battery, 10% remaining. So, yeah, best place to read my cards is here. Favorite place to buy your cards? Well, big up Oneness Emporium, because what Cheryl does for our community is amazing. The personal touch, particularly for mass market decks, but she also sells indie ones as well. I just think if there's a deck or a book, like I bought a book last week, the first thing I'll do is I'll check Oneness Emporium to see if she's got it, and if it doesn't show, then I'll message Cheryl and say, have you got such and such? And she'll say, no, I didn't get it, or I did have it but it's gone, and that sort of thing. So yeah, Oneness Emporium if I'm buying online. If I'm buying from a shop, I love Watkins. Watkins is a great shop. I have spent hours in there before. Not so much since I've been going recently, but when I first discovered Watkins, I would spend at least 2 hours, sometimes longer. And then also buying in Glastonbury is a great place to buy decks. Yeah, just great. Happy Glastonbury seems to have like the best collection of tarot decks. And then the 13th prompt, as I mentioned, I'm not going to do, because it's your favorite YouTube channels, and I can't do that because one, I would be here for hours, because literally anybody who creates content around tarot, and I'm subscribed to, I love, and that's a lot of channels, and I can't, if I started saying, oh, I particularly like this person or that person, again, with my brain, I will miss somebody out, and that won't be fair, and I won't want them to be upset, and I won't want them to think that I don't value them, because I do. So whenever there's a tag that has a prompt, what's your favorite YouTuber or anything like that, I won't do that, because everybody in our community has a voice. everybody in our community, in my opinion, brings something to the community. And yeah, they're all favourites. So if you've seen a comment from me on any of your videos, if you're watching this and you're a content creator, know that I value you. I'm subscribed. I am watching. I don't always comment because very often I'll put a video on at night time as well as I'm going into bed, and I'll sit and I'll lay there and I'll watch a video. Sometimes as well, if it's somebody that's talking and not showing, like chatty type, I will have that on in the car. So very often, I don't want people to think that, oh, I've not seen Simon for a while. Know that if I'm subscribed, I'm probably watching you. So, and I value you. And it might be diplomatic, but I would hate it. I would hate to miss somebody out. And I've got a tendency to do that because of, like I said, how my brain works. So that's the tag. Do check it out. I will, like I say, once this is uploaded, I'll change the title and add it in. I need to pull a tile. We're already up to 8:30 and I've got less than 10% battery on my iPad. Every channel is amazing. I love that people take time to put out vids. Exactly. How can we, just say I like this channel, like that channel, especially on TarotTube. There's so many people doing amazing stuff that we appreciate and love. And yeah, I don't necessarily think we should rank, because everybody brings something different. We have the 10 of Cups. So if you've been experiencing any turmoil, just know that this week is our week ahead card, means that cycle is finally coming to an end. And the status quo that we experienced before that turmoil, especially emotional turmoil, is coming to an end. Sorry. What's coming to an end is the turmoil. The status quo is returning, not coming to an end. So emotional harmony, getting that balance back, is something that's you should look forward to this week. And what I would say is it will feel amazing. So enjoy it, celebrate it. Sometimes when we go through that sort of whatever it is, that upheaval, that emotional imbalance, the anxiety, the worry, all that sort of stuff that comes with emotional turmoil, when things start to settle down and the rainbow appears and we feel happy and content and we're back, the status quo is how it should be, then enjoy it, celebrate it. Don't take it for granted. Savor that good time. And doesn't it feel great when you've gone through something and now it's past? You've got that weightlessness and just that sort of, I can breathe out. So if this message resonates with you for the week, if you are somebody that's been going through quite a challenging time emotionally, then just know that this week there could be some respite from that. I cried for crickets too. Just awful. Oh, I'm glad you needed to hear that, Nancy. Celebrate that feeling when it comes this week. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. It's always lovely to hang out. I appreciate you and your support. And I will be back next week. Don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't be here next week. So, yeah. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And if you've had time off like me, with it being the holidays, and you're going back to work, I hope it's stress-free for you. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste. and blessed be.